So, with your earning pension, after we were appointed by the States of Guernsey, we, together with Group, set up a project team. So we had some project management support from group level, which was invaluable. We hadn't locally taken on something of that size and scale. That was probably 2 years ahead of when we actually sort of commenced your earning pension. So it gave us enough time, and there was a couple of delays along the way as well. But what it did do is it gave us enough time to plan everything, to anticipate the volumes, where the pinch points would be. And I think, touch wood, what we're seeing is that we got a lot of those things right when we'd need most resource, where we'd need most resource at certain points. A lot of time and thinking went into the user experience. We knew at the start, obviously, a lot of that engagement would be with employers. So how could we make their journey, their experience as easy as possible? So probably more focus at that point went on things like payroll integration and what would they be seeing and dealing with, and how could we improve that and simplify that. We had a few different sort of project teams working side by side. Some of those were sovereign internal, either local or with group. Some of those were then some of the other key stakeholders locally. So that involved the investment managers, the States of Guernsey, the revenue service, for example, here, and making sure that all of those different touch points lined up, that from a state's policy point of view, everything we were doing fitted nicely with that. Also from a revenue service point of view and their returns creator, for example, that what we had would work with that as well. And I think it is a sort of very good example of when you put the right or wrap the right structure and planning around something, how you can deliver something, even that might at the start seem insurmountable. So we've just looking at the numbers as of, I think, last week, we're closing in on the sort of 1,000 employer application marks, which for a business of our size and in Guernsey, that is a huge chunk of the sort of population of businesses on the island. So to think backwards a couple of years now and where we are now, huge achievement, and all that work was well worth it.
Yeah, because I found on doing the communication piece on that side of the project, it was quite a challenge because it was such a wide range of people. There was different generations, there was different financial knowledge, there's just educational standards and everything. So it was finding what those core messages would be to all the different types of people. And it's been really useful. We've used all sorts of different things. We've got video tutorials. I thought it was really good when we went out into the community and had drop-in sessions, and we purposefully did it in things like the football clubs, sporting clubs and everything, just to make it really relaxed, not coming into an office, so people could feel at ease. And it was useful feedback because a lot of the things that people were worried about or they didn't understand, we've put out comms and we've put out tutorials and things on that. I mean, it's quite a big learning curve, I think, for the community. There's a lot of people didn't really know what happens to their pension when they die, or whether what it all means and when they can get it and everything. So I think it was really interesting.
The education side was definitely a big part. I think obviously we have Helen Dean as chairperson of the governance committee, and one of the things she was talking about recently is Guernsey and your island pensions, a really good sort of example of when you're doing something on a small scale, how different the engagement is. So for them, millions and millions of members, if they want to get a message out, they can't go to St Martin's Football Club or a restaurant or a cafe or a garage, as we've done, and go in and talk to people directly. It's got to be sort of targeted volume messaging. And I think something of the size that we've done has allowed us to have that more personalised and engagement more directly with the community. And certainly when we're talking to them about if they run a survey or anything, what sort of response rates are they getting? It's like single digit percentage at best. When we've done that, it's been maybe 20% of the employers that we've gone out to have responded. So you can definitely see that difference in engagement rates because of the size of the population, I guess.
Yeah, no, that helps, doesn't it? And then also it expands out because we've had a lot of employers come to us on board and saying, oh, such and such told us to come down. It was really easy. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. So I think, having that good engagement and doing a good service. I mean, we've delivered on what we promised. So I think that's made a big difference to the community.
I think we've probably had more footfall than we maybe expected as well.
Yeah.
We obviously used online and different mediums to get messages out. But as you say, I think people, when they heard from others, well, we just went in and we sat down with them, we spoke to the team, they got their laptop out and showed us how to work with Returns Creator. I think that has led to more people doing the same, which ultimately maybe a bit more time spent on our part collectively at the start. But if those people know confidently how to do it now, it's going to save those incidents and time spent down the line. So hopefully it'll be a really beneficial thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been beneficial for us because I've taken a lot of the communication things that we've learned and I've put that into the international space. I mean, the populations are so different now. I mean, you can have 4 generations now within a working population because everyone's living longer. And it's making sure, isn't it, that you give them the information that they want in the format that they want to digest it. And so a lot of the things that we did for Guernsey, I've managed to put into some of the other, well, one of that other government contract that we have, which is non-domestic, but still has, dealing with an island population, dealing with a government stakeholder, but also dealing with islanders on the ground. And as islanders, I mean, we understand other islanders. So I think that's a powerful thing as well.
Yeah, and even within the offices that we've got pension licenses. So obviously Gibraltar have had auto-enrolment, Malta are looking at it. Myself and Darren, Christina have conversations about what might work there, what's worked well here. You can sort of apply some of those lessons, and I know they've done, or Gibraltar certainly have made quite a big move on the payroll side of things to integrate with a couple of the key players there, and I think that will really help them as well.
Yeah, it really is an exciting time. And I do think auto-enrolment, I mean, it's natural, isn't it, that it's going to roll around the world. I mean, Ireland have put it in this year. UK put it in, what was it, in 2012. Lots of other countries have done it. So I think we're really well placed. I mean, we've proven that we can do it. We can do it at scale. So it's going to be quite an exciting time.
The education thing is sort of almost flipped when you go to auto-enrolment. So I do quite a lot going in with local schools and talking to sixth form students and even younger at times. And the message used to be trying to encourage people to do something. You have to go out and you have to set something up. And it was very much banging your head against the wall because I was talking knowing that they weren't going to do it. Just that they might actually believe everything you're saying and fully agree, but actually going and taking the step to set something up just generally didn't happen at that sort of age group. But now, obviously, when they leave education, they go into the workplace, they are immediately, in all cases, going to have that. So the message then becomes, don't do anything. Or if you are going to do something, put in more, but certainly don't take the action to come out. And hopefully just that normality of it's part of their package now, within 3, 5, 10 years. At the moment, we've still got certain people who maybe a bit later on in their careers are assessing whether or not it's worthwhile staying in. Are they going to put enough in as a result? Certainly that younger generation coming through, it's all they'll know. And I know from people who have worked in the UK, they come back and sort of can't believe that everyone else doesn't have the same thing. So long term, that will massively help. People will just expect and it'll be the norm.